Quack, quack, quack.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right?
Good, man.
Good.
Have a seat, sir.
Hey, I'm not gonna do this interview. You don't want to do it? No, because it's gonna be an Aspinall fest. I'm not doing it. Come on, let's go. Hey, bro. I see how close you guys are, and common sense tells me what type of questions I was going to get asked. So I'm just like, it sounds good.
And then Dana was in here, and you said if the Tom fight, you want to be well compensated. Dana said his quote was, "He will be, but he knows you're going to disappear. He probably won't hear from you. We won't hear from you. And then when you want to talk, you'll quote emerge and talk with Dana and Hunter." So I guess what is your plan moving forward for the next few weeks?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I think if the UFC wants to have me back, then I think that's the fight they'll make. I've been really clear about my intentions. That's what I want, and I mean, I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, And I'm not talking to Dana directly. I feel like I'm at a place now where, I want to take what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my value doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want prayer. Quack, quack, quack.
So to sum this whole thing up, UFC embedded episode 5 for 309. I saw this comment. Reeps versus the World 1. This guy is a genius. Jon Jones. Stipe being disrespectful. I will beat his ass. Also Jon Jones. Aspinall is being disrespectful. I won't fight him. This guy is explaining Jon Jones perfectly. He's just a big pussy. That's all.
Quack, quack, quack.
Respect. But we got back to happen. We're over here. Over there. You don't want no smoke. You don't want no smoke. With the one true king. Listen, I give you respect for that, but I want that smoke. You know that. I've always been king. Today I started this. And I'm gonna die. Anyway, we'll see. We could have solved, but you left. Oh no, you sit back for 3 years. I had to get to a good enough size to kick your ass. That took you 3 years. 3 years to make that happen. I'll always be down for fight you, but not the best. But I want you. I want to kick your ass.
Quack, quack, quack.
Wait, do one. Just saying hello. Just saying hello.
All the best.
We'll do a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah?
Let's get it.
A face-off.
No,
Just a...
Quack, quack, quack.
Do you think Jon is ducking you?
Yes.
Was that
I
Tom?
do. I think, I said, yeah, he is. He definitely is. I think that there's just an easier path for him. And I understand it. I do understand it completely. I understand that there's bigger fights out there for him with way less risk and way more money. I understand it. But in all honesty, do I think he's ducking me? Absolutely.
I do have to ask you about these reports of you being an asshole. Are they true?
Sometimes, yeah. Yes, I think everybody is sometimes.
The craziest thing was when Tom won the last fight in Manchester, I go, Tom, what do you want to say to the champ, Jon Jones? And Tom goes, Jon, you're a really nice fella, and I would love to fight you. And then Jon's like, this guy's a dick.
That's why it's so funny to hear Jon saying that. He's like the nicest guy on the planet. You're the exact opposite of your countryman, Michael Bisping. You're a genuinely nice person. You know what I mean?
Quack, quack, quack.
Jon Jones, he was praying that I would lose that fight against Curtis Blades. There is nowhere that you can find publicly him saying that he will fight me. It doesn't exist. The guy's smart. We know he's a bit overweight these days. Let's be honest, since I won that fight, he's gone completely quiet, and he'll continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him.
That's like one of the coldest statements I've ever heard in my whole life, but
that is sick.
Quack, quack, quack.
If you defeat him, will you defend your belt against Aspinall, who has the interim title?
More than likely not. I feel like Tom Aspinall is, I don't want to say nobody. He just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't done anything. I'm not here to gamble someone else making a name off of me. I'm here to compete against the guys where when we look back, 10 years from now, it'd be like Jon Jones fought and this legend and this champion and this champion. If there were to be a fight of a guy that's still on our UFC roster that would be not only financially worth it, but legacy worth it, it would be Alex Pereira. Right now, I weigh about 235. I'm an incredibly light heavyweight. I think Pereira walks around at 240. And I think that fight would go much farther on my legacy than a young man who's cool today and maybe gone tomorrow. Quack, quack, quack.
I ain't coming just for Jon Jones, I'm coming for the belt. Whoever has the belt is who I want to fight if I'm not the champion. Now, I've beat the guy who I had a technical loss against in Curtis Blades with a knee injury. That was important to me, is going doing that. Defending an interim belt was never really important to me. That was a personal fight. I wanted to go back and win that. What is important to me isn't Jon Jones, isn't Stipe Miocic, isn't Cyril Gane, isn't Volkov, isn't Blades, isn't anybody. What's important to me is being the #1 heavyweight undisputed world champion. And Jon Jones has that now, and that's what I want. And I see a lot of touchy fans online being like, well, Jon's done this superior to you. Listen, no arguments that Jon Jones's resume is far superior to mine, but he has what I deserve, and I want to go and prove that I'm the guy. And that's the only way we can sort it. So I'm challenging him to a fight. And I'm a little bit disappointed that Jon, as the great champion that he is, doesn't want to give other guys that opportunity when someone's breathing down his neck. Because that's the first thing that most champions would do, is like, right, this guy wants it, I'm going to put him in his place. And if he thinks I don't deserve it, show me that I don't deserve it. Show me. Sweet, mate. If you kick my ass in front of the whole world, I'm happy to put my hand out and go, listen, you're the better man. No problem. You took my dreams away from me, but at least I tried. But this ducking and diving is something that I don't really have respect for. And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week. And I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
You're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion. He's not a champion.
So Jon said I need to fight more champions, but this is the problem I've got. Jon is the champion, and he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Owen St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. They're like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing against me.
Quack, quack, quack.
Looking at their stats on the UFC website, Tom Aspinall, 12 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 14 first-round finishes. Striking accuracy, 67%. Takedown accuracy, 100%. Average fight time, 2 minutes. Looking at his record, first round finish, 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 first round finish. Second round finish, first round finish, first round finish. I mean, what more do you want to go through? Look at Jones's. 11 wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission. 58% striking accuracy, 45% takedown accuracy. 14-minute fight, average fight time. Wins by method, KO, TKO, decision, submission. Okay, this was a good win, but Stipe's 42. Cyril Gane has no grappling. Lost to Reyes. Whoever says Jones won this fight, you're on crack. Go back and watch this fight. And I was rooting for Jon at the time. I wasn't thinking the way I'm thinking now. At the time when he fought Dominic Reyes, I was rooting for Jon. Dominic Reyes literally won rounds 1 through 3. Clear. Straight robbery. Thiago Santos had blown out kneecaps. Couldn't finish Smith. Gustafsson fight. Good fight. Overturn, pop for PEDs, decision. Decision. Okay, yeah, I finished Chael. But look at all this. I'd be scared to fight Tom Aspinall too if I was him. Decision, couldn't finish Anthony Smith. Decision, couldn't finish one leg Santos. Decision, lost to Dominic Reyes. Like, the stats don't lie. All Tom wants to do is prove he's the best heavyweight on the planet. But he won't just because Jon is ducking him. He can't because Jon is ducking him. It's just wild. Jon Jones fans are crazy. All we want to see is Tom versus Jon. He will only fight him if the price is right. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Quack, quack, quack.
Condescending. Have you run into Jon or Stipe behind the scenes? That's all this week, mate.
I've seen Stipe. Stipe, but I've not seen Jon.
No Jon Jones. Have you been aiming? Have you been lingering too long in areas and corridors you shouldn't?
I've not seen Jon actually. I've seen Stipe. He looked all right. Looked quite big actually. Looked quite big.
Yeah, he's a big dude, isn't he, Stipe Miocic? You shook his hand, or was it the clip that we've all seen of you just passing by him?
Yeah, I didn't actually. That one clip, I didn't even know he was there.
Wow.
I didn't even see him. But we haven't like directly crossed paths. We've just been in the same room a couple of times. But no, none of that. I don't really know him, so I'm not gonna.
Is there any intentionalness to that? Like, do you feel like when you're going around, it's like a fine-tuned system of this guy's leaving when you're coming in, or because it's a small area? It's pretty interesting that you haven't ran into Jon. I don't know if you've checked any closets, but I mean, it's a very small area, mate.
For someone who's out of the way, you're very switched on, Guru, aren't you? When it comes to stuff like this, you are very switched on.
I mean, it's my life.
I have felt like myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
That we have coincidentally missed each other a lot of times. To the point where, how many times can this be a coincidence?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. The honest answer is I don't know if it is a coincidence or not. But we have had stuff to do in the same building for like 4 or 5 days in a row, and I've not run into him yet, which is a bit weird.
Seems like something's afoot with the UFC, Tom. That's what it sounds like to me, mate.
A lot of blacklisting.
Quack, quack, quack.
As far as my future in the octagon, I decided that maybe I will not retire, and that I have some conversations to have with Dana and Hunter, and we have some negotiating to do. And if everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see.
And what would that be? Is that heavyweight, or is that Alex Pereira at heavyweight? What is that? What are you thinking?
I know that we have options. And so I'm just going to see what Uncle Dana wants and what Uncle Hunter wants. And you guys will hear about it soon, I'm sure.
Quack, quack, quack.
When Jon Jones turns 58, Jake Paul's going to call him out. Stipe looked every bit of 42 in this fight. Jon turned into a politician in that interview. Didn't answer the question straight with the straight answer. Do you want to fight Tom next? Did you know Jesus loves you? They fed us elderly abuse this week. You would think his name is Jerry with how he's running from Tom. He won't retire, fine. We'll just have to wait 4 years for his next fight. Jon Jones talking about Jesus like he ain't about to go to the strip club later tonight. Not getting Tom in the octagon is criminal, especially after he wasn't allowed at the press conference ordered by Dana himself. The whole UFC is trying to protect their man, Jon, at all cost. But we'll see through it. Joe, who's next? Alex or Tom? I want to thank Jesus Christ. Dana, who is this Tom Aspinall? Is he signed next? Is he signed? Alex Pereira is next. It's an absolute disrespect to Tom. We have the literal interim champ in the building, but they're asking, who you fighting next, Jon? What the F?
Quack, quack, quack.
Right? He teased us.
Jon had a Joe Rogan dance for me.
You know, he didn't tell us exactly what he was going to do, but I think both fights are fantastic, right? The Pereira fight, Pereira can fight at heavyweight. That would be insane.
If it's not Aspinall next, then the UFC is no better than boxing. I love Joe, but stop talking about Pereira. Aspinall is next, no debate. Embarrassing from Joe to keep bringing up Pereira. Did Rogan completely miss Dana saying the winner has to fight Aspinall and completely shut down Poatan? Stop disrespecting Tom. He's the interim champ. This fight should have happened. Commentary getting worse. Rogan and DC are company men. They're going to keep pushing the Pereira fight so Jones doesn't have to fight Aspinall. Holy crap. This comment is perfect. Tom Aspinall finished Jake Collier, Alan Dubois, Sergey Spivak, Marcin Tybura, Alexander Volkov, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades in 2.5 minutes quicker than he beat 42-year-old Stipe, who's coming off a 5-minute KO loss 4 years ago. Wow. Stipe looked every bit his age. Tom, different animal altogether. Jon didn't look great. Stipe looked like a 42-year-old. Legs were gone, hand speed gone. Stipe looked sad.
Quack, quack, quack.
Well done, Jon Jones. That was a really nasty spinning back kick to the body in round 3 that put down Stipe Miocic. I thought for a second we were about to be heading into round 4, but that was a really nasty spinning back kick to the body. I can't deny it. Really nasty looking finish. We don't often see that from Jon Jones, at least recently. We don't normally see him in the cage recently, but that was really cool. He landed a spinning back kick to the body, put down Stipe Miocic, and finished him off afterwards. That highlight is really cool looking, and if anyone's just looking at Twitter and sees that highlight, they're going to be very impressed with Jon Jones's performance. Now I'm going to get into the fight in general. I was not watching the two best heavyweights on the planet. Very cool spinning back kick to the body from Jon Jones. He had a great first round. He really did. I wasn't watching the best two heavyweights on the planet fight for the undisputed title, man. And I felt like I was in an alternate dimension watching that fight, thinking, am I in a different reality to everyone else? I'm listening to the commentary, and they're talking about the fight, and I'm like, they're plodding around like old men in there. Great finish by Jon Jones, guys. Really good first round. A judge gave Stipe round 2. If that spinning back kick doesn't happen when it does, we were about to be heading into round 4. Jon Jones nearly took Stipe Miocic, 42 years old, 4 years out of the octagon, last got slept by Francis Ngannou out cold, full-time firefighter since then. He nearly took Stipe Miocic to round 4. Stipe got scored a round in round 2. Stipe was lunging forward and landing shots on Jon Jones's chin while he was wide open. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I know people are going to look at the highlight on Twitter and they're going to see the spinning back kick to the body. And don't get me wrong, that is impressive for a heavyweight to pull off. Stipe was hobbling around like an old man out there, man. He was very slow, very sloppy with his punches. There was no tight shots down the pipe, blitzing in like Tom Aspinall and Ngannou. Oh, big shots. Boom, boom, boom. Big, massive, powerful shots. Stepping with a jab, spring out, heavy calf kick from Ngannou. There was none of that from Stipe. There's no calf kicks. There's no kicks in his game whatsoever other than maybe a shin-to-shin inside low kick that he went for a few times. There's just punches like Derek Brunson moving forward. And don't get me wrong, I love Stipe and I hate that he didn't get a retirement package and he got no respect for his retirement. Joe Rogan was crying at Carla Esparza's retirement and they did a full movie on the screen. They knew Stipe was retiring after this fight and they did nothing for him to give him a send-off. Nothing at all. I think that Aspinall beats Jones. I think Ngannou beats Jones. If he stays around, that's cool. We didn't get the retirement. We didn't get Aspinall storming the cage. I'm just being honest with you guys. I hope you agree with me here. I'm being real. Because I know I could sit here and just be like, wow, he's so amazing, isn't he? And listen, he's the GOAT of the sport because in our sport, we count PED users unless they're TJ Dillashaw or any other PED user ever other than Jones. But when you get a record of failed PED tests, it clears your name. Don't know why, but that's how it works in our sport, I guess. I'm just keeping it real, guys. I think Aspinall clears him. And listen, could Jones get Aspinall down and get him and finish him with those elbows? Maybe. There's a solid chance of that. Could he do the same to Ngannou? I don't think Stipe is as strong or as athletic or as fast as Ngannou or Aspinall, guys.
Quack, quack, quack.
Look at his comments. Joe mentioning Alex first is complete BS. Joe Rogan should be fired for even suggesting Alex. Unironically, Aspinall could have beat both in the same night with relative ease. Joe Rogan is an official casual UFC shill. Bringing up Pereira before Aspinall, awful. Truly disappointing. The worst part about this is going to be Dana, Rogan, Twitter glaze for the next, I don't know however long it takes for Jones to get arrested again. Damn. After that, I'm convinced Tom sleeps ducky. It's hilarious the heavyweight fireman GOAT Stipe retires gets no video tribute. Yet Michelle Watterson and Carla Esparza do. But great, now we gotta hear more jokes glazing from Dana. I absolutely hated how Joe Rogan said, oh, Stipe took 4 years off, that's a good time to recover. Like, bruh. None of them mentioned how old he was and how he hasn't been active. Dana obviously glazed Jones and never admit how dumb this was. Jones practiced a spitting back kick on his wife prior to this fight.
Quack, quack, quack.
Obviously, in media days, there's a lot of sound bites is what everyone likes hearing. The big sound bite this week was you saying you wouldn't want to do business with Tom Aspinall. You said he's an asshole. A lot of people in the media kind of laughed about that, and even the U.S. broadcast are saying, like, what is he talking about? Tom Aspinall's the nicest guy on the planet. He never disrespects John. He says nice things about John.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
So what specifically has he said or done to make him an asshole?
There's just a lot of people on his nuts right now. And
but what has he done, though?
Coming up with Jon Jones T-shirts, buying a little duck, and just the little shit that he does. He's annoying to me. He's annoying to me, and that's my own personal. He annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining, but I find him annoying, and I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say it. I want that fuck you money. Honestly, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or else, my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all, and he needs me, and that's a good place to be in a negotiation.
Is there a dollar figure that equals fuck you money?
A very, very high number. It's going to be a very high number for sure.
Don't want to define very high yet?
No, I'm not. I've learned over the years not to really get into finances publicly, but I want to be compensated to the point where if I won or lost, that it really wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Quack, quack, quack.
Everybody gonna admit now that he's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world? And let me tell you what, this thing had upset written all over it too. I mean, all the talk about Jon Jones, Stipe seemed pissed, focused, and he came here to win. He looked good. He was physically in great shape. The list goes on, and Jon literally picked him apart. The jab was unbelievable tonight. How he was kicking the legs and the body. Every time he kicked the body, I thought it was over. And then he would go for the head kick and slipping punches. I mean, he's going to be 38 years old this summer. He looked incredible. I just don't know how any of you don't see that this guy's the fucking greatest fighter in the history of fucking people fighting. He's 37 going on 38. And again, tonight, he went in and did what he did. He's fucking unbelievable. And as long as he's active, he's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
So moving forward, what do you do? Like, as obviously you said you want him to fight Tom next, and you said that could just be the biggest heavyweight fight of all time.
It will be.
Yeah. And John was on the post-fight thing. He said he wants to be well compensated because he saw what Jake and Mike.
He will be.
So when do you actually meet with him? Is that a Tuesday conversation, or is it get
I
back?
got Tom waiting outside for me right now, and John, you let John do John. John's going to disappear. Not only will you not hear about him or what he's doing, neither will I. And then he will resurface, and he'll call, and we'll get it done.
It's like stylistically, right? As you said, John, still amazing, still incredibly varied attacks, great IQ. But it would seem that Tom's advantage would be in the speed. When you look at that fight, how do you break it down, and how do you think that could play out?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what John's going to do. John's one of those guys that I was saying earlier has the highest fight IQ. He's like fucking Elon Musk in the octagon, okay? This guy is brilliant in there, and the things that he pulls off, like you didn't see any of the spinning elbows tonight that he does normally. He did all different shit tonight. I'm sure he sat down and watched Stipe's tapes, and I don't know what he'll do with Aspinall. John's always been well compensated. You know, he's always been well compensated. I would never put his total purse number out there, but it's fucking massive. The number that he went over tonight, he's made a lot of money in his career. Listen, you don't fight and then disappear for 5 years because you weren't well compensated. He makes a lot of money. So he'll make a lot more for this fight.
You say that Jon and Tom has the potential to be the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. Is that a fight that you think you could go against your normal rules and go for a stadium?
It doesn't have the potential to. It's going to be. It's going to be the biggest heavyweight fight ever. It'll probably be the biggest fight we've ever done.
I wanted to ask about Jon Jones. I know you like questions about him. So if Aspinall gets out of the fight, if you schedule a fight and he gets out of fight, do you think you'll try to make a fight against Pereira?
No.
No? Okay.
You know what? You know what tonight told me? There's no fucking way I make the Pereira fight.
Okay.
John's too big. Great wrestler. See how he took Stipe down in that first round?
Yeah.
I like Alex Pereira. I like him personally. You know,
But he's the greatest of all time, right?
it just doesn't make sense to make that fight. If they both want it bad enough and they're both fucking hounding me or something, maybe I would do it. It's just Alex Pereira is killing it. Look at his age and what he's doing right now. What's the reason to go up and fight a guy that's so much bigger than you and such a good wrestler?
Right.
What is it?
Money.
Money? Yeah. No, you're right. That's definitely a reason.
The only reason.
But just so we're clear, I don't want to make any of that kind of money. I want Pereira to stay where he is and do what he does and, you know, run the street. But again, if they go crazy on me and they want to do it, then what am I going to do? They're grown-ass men, and I'm sure the fans want to see it. I'm sure you want to see it. I guess we'll talk about it.
Quack, quack, quack.
I want to start with this week. What was this week like for you with all the noise surrounding it? You were obviously a big supporting character in all this, despite the fact that you weren't fighting tonight. What was it like for you?
I wouldn't do it again.
Really? You wouldn't be there. Is that what you mean?
I don't want to be a backup fighter again. That's
Okay.
not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be the defending champion next time. I don't want to do that stuff again. It's like the closer the fight got, the more I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm going to actually have to fight somebody like in a couple of hours? Especially today, I was like, what if somebody pulls out? What if somebody like gets sick or injures, rolls their ankle or something? I don't know. Very stressful to be honest.
Steve, Tom, can I ask you a question? I've been telling Fitzgerald that I believe the moment that John returns, so when the bell rings, that relinquishes you of the interim championship. Is that right?
I have no idea. To be honest, you're the only person I've ever heard say that.
Okay.
So I don't know. I
Right.
guess I got to speak to the
In
UFC.
the past, it's been unification. That's been the term used for the heavyweight title fight. But in terms of the fan support, one of the lasting moments from this week that I'll remember is when Dana says the winner should fight you, and the crowd went nuts.
Yep.
What's it been like to kind of hear the people do your bidding?
It's been great. Like, I seen these two guys yesterday, and these two guys were praising me, like, what a good job you've done this week. And I've got similar praise from other people, and it's like, I ain't done nothing. Like, everybody's done it for me, in all honesty. Like, this has been amazing. I just got to sit back, chill. Even tonight in the UFC Octagon, like, when Jon Jones started talking about retirement, he started talking about Alex Pereira, nothing, dead silence. As soon as he mentioned me, the crowd erupted again. And I spoke to the UFC brass a little bit. I'm going to speak to him a little bit more. And in my opinion, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I think this is the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history, and this is what the people want to see.
Yes, it is.
What did you think watching the fight?
It was, as you American guys say, by design. It was exactly what I thought. Like, it was exactly what I thought would happen. In all honesty, I wasn't sure if Jon could finish him. I thought maybe it's going to be a 5-rounder at that kind of pace. Jon picking him off, Jon keeping his range, Jon walking him backwards, Jon mixing up the attacks between the head, the body, the legs, the spinning leg kick, the spinning back kicks to the body, the wrestling. He does it all incredibly well. And I think to beat Jon Jones, the most important thing you need is good eyes, good reactions, quick reactions, be able to see everything and do everything and react really quick. And in all honesty, Stipe Miocic, and this is said with a load of respect, he just didn't have that at 42 years old.
Yeah, it seemed like he just wasn't able to close that distance. He wasn't able to exchange with the speed that you would need to be able to deal that. And you are a dynamic, fast, quick, well-rounded heavyweight, Tom. Do you think that in those exchanges, were you watching that and thinking exactly what you would be doing in those situations? Was it that kind of night?
Of course. And I've only seen Jon Jones fight on the TV before. This is the first time I've ever seen him up close. And I was sitting, you couldn't have got any closer. You know what I mean? I was almost in arm's length from the UFC Octagon. And you guys know it is way different watching it on TV and watching it up close. And I am so happy that I got to see an up-close version of what Jon Jones looks like at 37, 38 years old on the back end of his career, and I'm very satisfied.
What stood out?
Just the speed. Just the speed. There is no chance that he can. I don't want to say too much. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep the cards close to my
Gotcha.
chest, but-
It's okay. That's actually what we want, because that speed's very interesting. Let me ask you this. Do you see opportunities for takedowns? I've just noticed that people are never trying to take him down. Do you see an opportunity where they should at least threaten the takedown?
Absolutely. I see everything. Whether I can do it in there, Jon Jones is one of the best to ever do it. Arguably the best. Arguably the greatest of all time, as Dana White says, and as Jon Jones says himself. But I definitely see openings. Whether I can do it or not, Chael, you've been in there yourself.
It's fair.
I don't know. But from the outside looking in, I think I can.
A few short years ago, Tom, I remembered you talking about how you didn't want to rush to the top. You wanted to make sure that you were truly ready to fight with the best and for the belt. And then somewhere along the lines, it seemed like it hit fast forward and you really believed in yourself that you were among the absolute best in the world. What changed?
A lot of things, to be honest. Mainly, my mentality changed. When I injured my knee, I just completely rebuilt myself mentally and physically. That was a time when I really needed to evaluate whether I wanted to be in the sport or not. And obviously I decided, before, to be honest with you, I was like 1 foot in the sport. And I decided I'm either going to take both feet out or I'm going to dive in. And I decided to dive in completely and really, really change my lifestyle around being the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. And I think I am that now. And I just need the opportunity to prove it. And I know that I can beat Jon Jones.
Last question. You just kind of went through a fight camp of sorts to be the backup fighter. You had to stay ready. What's it look like now? Nothing's promised, but I imagine there's all sorts of things running through your head as to possibilities as to when, where, how, and we know who. What do you go back and do now?
Well, when Jon Jones was doing his speech, I was looking directly at the UFC brass, Dana and Hunter. And both of them turned to me at the same time and pointed at me and winked like this at the same time. So to me, that says there's something big in the pipeline. As I just said a moment ago, this is the biggest fight in
You're
UFC
the man.
heavyweight history.
It's you, man. It's got to be you.
Massive. This is potentially one of the biggest fights in MMA right now.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
If that doesn't interest Jon Jones, then I don't know what else we can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody knows that this is the fight to make. This is the fight that the people want. This is the fight that the UFC want. This is the fight that the fans want. And this is the fight that has to happen now.
Well, Tom, good luck, and I love how you've handled yourself through your early UFC run and to where you are right now. And
look at the betting odds. Tom Aspinall came out as the favorite in the hypothetical odds just from this interview. insane.
And I think I can speak for fight fans all over the world that say we're excited about the matchup and we're excited that you're getting your shot, so it would seem. So good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Excellent.
Convince
Thanks
me,
for
Tom.
joining us.
You sold that well, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
well
for
done,
joining
Tom.
us up here at Madison Square Garden. And Tom Aspinall, gracious all week long while he waits his turn, which would seemingly be on the clock.
Quack, 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 quack.